This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. He is the host of a brand new book that will be coming out in just about a month here, From Paycheck to Purpose. It is on sale now, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love. It's in pre-sale. You can check it out at RamseySolutions.com. We were just talking, going on the air, it's breaking all kinds of records. From Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love. So if you want to talk about career, you want to talk about getting a job, you want to talk about your money, your life, we are here to help. The call is free, and some say it's worth exactly what you pay for it. 888-825-5225. John is in Milwaukee. Hey, John, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, so good to be here. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Yeah, this is a question really for Ken. So for the past year, I've been working as a freelance photographer. I really thought I was clear about what I wanted to do, but I'm really having some doubts here.
What are you doubting specifically?
I work in freelance as a real estate photographer. And so the past maybe 6 months have been really challenging because essentially the market, of course, is so hot and crazy, and you could sell a house in your sleep essentially. And so I've really been struggling to kind of make it happen. And I think just really dealing with like imposter syndrome as well. Just like, man, there's so many other photographers in the area and things like that. I really thought I was clear.
So when you say you're struggling to make it happen, meaning because houses are moving so quickly, people don't need photographers and your work is dried up, is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, so let's just remove that for a second. And I know that's hard, but suspend some reality for just a moment. If you were rocking and rolling right now, as I'm assuming at least you've been much busier than you are now, would you be calling me with doubt and imposter syndrome?
Probably not.
No. So what we have to look at is it is your circumstances, it is your current season that is causing all of the doubt. And by the way, that's very natural. So give yourself a break. There's nothing wrong with you. You shouldn't feel bad about it, but you're just facing some good old tough times. And when times get tough, we start to doubt ourselves because we start looking at all of the other things instead of the reality, which is because of these circumstances in this market, you're having a tougher time. But the reality is when you got into photography and picked up a camera for the first time, you wanted to take pictures and you haven't lost that juice for being artistic and creative in that way. True or false?
True.
Okay, so great. So what we do is we say, is it always going to be this way? Are these real estate circumstances in this current market, are they always going to be this way? Yes or no?
No.
No. Are you still creative whether or not you're shooting real estate pictures or not? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
So photographers have to hustle. You got to get out there. So my overall advice to you is understand that what you're experiencing right now is good old-fashioned tough times that create doubt. Get clear. And I just helped you kind of reestablish for a moment what you believe about photography and what you love to do and why you love to do it. So start taking pictures of everything else. There's a lot of things you can take pictures of. If you've got to go work a side hustle for a season just to stay in the game, then that's what you do. But do not quit this. You will regret it if you walk away from being a photographer.
I got lost in your story arc just a second ago. Did you ever make a living doing this?
No, it's a side hustle that I decided to make full-time last year.
At exactly the wrong time. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not your fault, but that's just the way it worked out. Thank you to pandemics and so forth. So when you were in the side hustle, what kind of money were you making?
It was less than $20,000.
And what have you made now that it's full time and times are tough?
Even less than that, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so it's still a side hustle.
Yeah.
but we don't quit. I mean, we do not
So
quit.
you got one of two options. You can backfill the hard times with and make it a side hustle again with a new gig that's a temporary gig. It's going to be 2 years, 3 years. You're going to work a job while you build this thing back up. You get your feet back under you because you got the wind knocked out of you. Because you jumped at exactly the wrong time. Like they moved the freaking boat right as you jumped, I mean, somebody hit the gas on it and, that kind of thing. It wasn't your fault, but it's like a bad trick, a cosmic jokester. So the other option is that you can look at it, your business model, and go, okay, real estate is, and I got my real estate license in 1978, John.
Wow.
This is the weirdest market I have ever seen. I'm telling you. I mean, it's it's got so many components to it, elements to it that are just strange. So, is it going to last that way? Absolutely not. It's just an anomaly. And so it's not status quo. It's not projectable into the future. It's not that kind of stuff. So, having said that, you either backfill with a full-time gig like you used to do and go get a similar job like you used to have just as and say, I'm going to do this for 2-3 years, get my feet back under me, let this market stabilize, and then re-enter. Or you pivot with the photography and go, I'm going to take pictures of stuff other than houses and try to add some things to your product line that is happening right now. Kids' sports. I had a friend that made $1 bazillion taking Little League sport pictures.
Oh, it's the easiest sale in the history of the world.
Sport pictures.
Hey, parents, you want a picture with your kid in his soccer jersey?
The only problem you got is there's other people doing it. But I mean, it's just,
sure.
It is, I mean, and action photos of a 6-year-old playing soccer. I mean, it's amazing. So I don't know. I'm just making stuff up here, but that camera can point at things other than just houses.
Yeah, you got to diversify, but the big thing is you don't quit. It's like he called in and said, I thought I was clear.
No, you didn't.
No.
You were clear.
You absolutely are still clear.
You just had, just like some of the stuff I launched last year, my timing sucked. Your timing sucks, okay? I got some stuff that I just assumed last year hadn't occurred. I'm trying to forget it. As Dr. John Deloney would say, I'm recovering. I'm recovering from trauma.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. All right.
Yeah.
Stephen is with us. Stephen's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Hey, Dave. It's an honor to talk with you.
You too. How can we help?
Well, Buddy and I are students, and we're thinking to start a small consulting business together until we're done with school. And, the more I've looked into it, it seems like starting a business with someone can involve some challenges, kind of like getting married.
Yep.
So my question for you guys is, what are some things that the two of us need to discuss ahead of schedule to make sure we're a good fit and on the same page to do this together?
It's a wonderful question, and I've got a pretty thorough answer that I want to give you in more than 10 seconds because I have a commercial bearing down on me. I have to make money around here because Ken Coleman likes to get paid. So
it's all my fault.
It's all your fault. So there you go. Anyway, we'll be back from this commercial break, and we will make sure that we talk you through how to deal with this idea. This is The Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
From Paycheck to Purpose is Ken Coleman's new book, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love. There's a Get Hired bonus pack, a Get Promoted bonus pack. You can choose between the two, all for $20. You get over $100 worth of stuff. It's on pre-sale right now at RamseySolutions.com. We're talking to Stephen in Albuquerque, New Mexico, coming out of school, got his buddy. They want to both be consultants. They're talking about doing it together, and he heard a rumor that might be troubling like a bad marriage. So what kind of consulting are you going to do, Stephen?
We're thinking of partnering with local high schools and helping students apply for scholarships.
Okay. Either one of you ever done that?
Well, we both have a lot of experience applying for scholarships and successfully getting them. So we think we're a good fit for helping people that are kind of new to that sort of thing.
Okay. All right. All right.
What's the business model? How's that going to, have you guys figured out how you're going to charge? Is it parents? Is it school systems paying you? What's the model?
So the basic model is going to be 2 tiers. We're going to have one opening tier where we provide introductory videos where parents or schools can pay to access the videos where we provide basic stuff. And then if folks want to move up and meet with us one-on-one, we'll offer that too if they're in our region.
Okay. All right. Well, let me start with the premise that I operate on, and that is the only ship that won't sail is a partnership. So I would urge you to try to figure out a way to do this as a joint venture rather than a partnership, because what typically happens in all the years I've done business coaching, I find almost zero. I mean, it's not quite, but it's almost zero businesses 1 decade later are still partners. The exception is, by far, the notable exception is medical partnerships and law firms. But short of that, the typical 2 guys that go start into doing something. And what normally happens is one of you works harder than the other, one of you has better ideas than the other, one of you makes more sales than the other, one of you is more personable or more talented than the other. And it can be switching places, like one of you is more talented and the other one works harder. And so you end up, there's this resentment thing that builds up, and you don't feel like the other guy's carrying his weight, and it runs into all kinds of crap. If you are going to, and so I would try to figure out a way to say, okay, I'm going to go over here and do this set of schools. You go over here and do that set of schools. We'll compare notes. We'll help each other. We'll encourage each other. But that set of schools is your money. This set of schools is my money. And even if we create a video product together that we share the cost on, when I sell the videos in my schools, I make money. When you sell the videos in your school, you make money. And just kind of keep it very separate, like a joint venture rather than a full-on partnership. I'm going to challenge you to do that. That's what I want you to do, because I think you're going to make a mess if you don't. But if you ignore that, here's still some guidelines, all right? You need to get an attorney, believe it or not. I don't want to tell you to do that, but you need to draw up a detailed partnership agreement. And it has to address all of the evil D's. Everything that's bad is going to happen just about begins with a D. Drug use, disinterest, default. One of you walks away and wants to own half of it while the other one keeps working. That's default, right? Disability, death. What happens then? You now own half of a scholarship business with his mom and dad, because that's his heirs, because he's not married. What a dadgum mess. And so you got to address every one of the possible negative D's: disability, death, divorce, drug use, default, disinterest. I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to go get a job. We're not making enough money, but I'm still going to be pissed at you when you're successful later.
Yeah.
And so all of that kind of crap. And so you got to deal with every possible exit scenario, and most of them begin with a D, and you need to do that in writing in a partnership agreement before you begin. And I probably would not put it in the form of a general partnership, which leaves you open to all kinds of financial liability. I'd put it in the form of an LLC, but it still functions as a partnership, and I'm still going to tell you to figure out a different way to do it.
Yeah. And I would add to that, I think that's absolutely brilliant advice. I would not even think about starting a business. I liked your idea. I'm going to edit it a little bit on the idea of you take one school system in this county, you take the other. Let's see if we can prove this thing before we actually, either one of us thinks about a business. Let's prove this model first. I like that approach. And then the other thing is I'm curious to know if you've got a situation where maybe Steven's more the sales guy, more the, okay, this is the handbook on how to get scholarships, and maybe the other guy's more video related, and we don't know that. But in that situation, instead of a true partnership, maybe one of you is like, okay, you're the video producer, I pay you, and they work together, but it's not even a joint venture.
Yeah.
That's a way to do it as well.
And the other option is just one of you own it.
That's right. And you pay the other one, hey.
And the other one can make a percentage of profits as their income.
That's right.
But they're not the owner.
That's right. When I sell a video,
anything with two heads is a monster.
I agree. So if one was the video specialist, the idea here is that he gets paid a percentage on every course you sell, but it's your company, and he's your production. It's like a contractor.
Yeah. There's something that we seek out, Stephen, that I want you to avoid, because it's mythology. It's a lie. And there's comfort in doing things with other people and not feeling like the Lone Ranger. Mm-hmm. There's comfort in you and your buddy locking arms and working on stuff together. There's comfort when Ken and I work together on launching Ken's book.
Yeah.
And then when we add to that an entire team around us, there's a lot more comfort to that, because it's not good that man be alone. Yeah. And so you feel more invincible, more strong, more courageous when you have your guy next to you, and you confuse that comfort with the need to do a partnership. It can be an employee-employer relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
And you can pay him zero salary, only a percentage of profits, and the part that he brings to the table is X, Y, and Z, and you bring A, B, and C, and one of you probably had more of this idea of turning this into a business than the other one did.
That's right. And just because you both want to win, that's what Dave's saying. It's so beautiful. Just because you both want to win doesn't mean we have to both be in it together in the same exact role.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Dave. That comfort can turn into contention pretty quickly if they don't focus on those D's.
It almost always.
Almost
does.
always, yeah.
Yeah, you should. Well, all right, let's see here. Damon is in Topeka, Kansas. Hey, Damon, what's up?
How are you, Dave?
Great, man. How can we help?
It's an honor to speak with you.
You too.
Dave, I will be brief. I basically want to know what you would do in my situation. I want to know what Dave Ramsey would do. Dave, March of this year, I became completely debt-free. I paid off my house after living in it 9 years and 10 months.
Good for you.
So I have no debt. Thank you. And I became engaged. I got engaged in April. And the circumstance is my girlfriend or fiance has a daughter who's a sophomore in high school, and she's heavily involved with activities. So transferring to another school is not an option. The distance from my house to her high school is about 15 to 20 miles. I made the suggestion to my fiance, give me a year. She has some debt also. She bought her house 3 years ago, and she has $16,000 in debt. So I made a suggestion to her to give me a year to get my house ready to sell, save up enough money. That way, when she marries, or we get married, I'd pay off the debt, because that becomes our debt.
Why does it take a year to fix up your house? Is it that dumpy?
No, it's not. But I was wanting to save up enough money to pay off her debt.
Oh,
and
what's your house worth?
And also $200,000.
Well, what would be wrong with just selling it?
I can sell it.
Yeah. And then move over in that other neighborhood and buy one and pay cash for it.
Okay.
You could do that, couldn't you?
Okay. Yeah.
How old is it? What year of school is this kid in?
A sophomore.
Yeah. I mean, you're making a lot of decisions here for 2 years of this kid's life. So, but you may be moving again. But, I mean, you can sell it and sell her house and pay off all her debt and put the money together that's left and buy a house with it for cash. I think that's probably what we're doing. It's just starting over. Let's wipe the slate clean and get a fresh start. paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Brock and Nellie are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Dave, it's great to be here.
Well, we're honored to have you. Where do you all live?
Well, we're on the go. We just left Bethel, Connecticut. We just sold our house, and we're on the move.
Where are you moving?
We're going to Vancouver for about a year. Yeah, new job.
By way of Nashville. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Got some family here, so we're hanging out.
Just swing by and see us. Well, thank you, man. So how much debt have you guys paid off?
$100,000.
All right. Love it. How long did that take?
34 months. It's a little interesting. 32 months if you count when we got severance. I lost my job.
Oh, that,
so
of course.
We held on to the severance for a little bit, and then we kind of considered that our debt-free moment, but we waited till we paid, which is about 2 months later.
Wow. Okay.
34, yeah.
Oh, so in the last 2 months, you lost your job, not the first 2.
We had lost it in, what day?
After 32 months of doing it?
32 months is when we got the notice, and then we just, until I got a new job.
Yeah, is that the end of the story, not the beginning? Okay.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
And so what was your range of income, not counting all that mess, but I mean, during the 34 months?
Started off with your program at around $83,000, and then started side hustling. I got a second job teaching animation, and so now we're around 106.
All right, very good. And so today you're an animator.
Yeah.
And a teacher of animation.
That's correct. Yeah.
And what do you do, Nellie?
I am a stay-at-home mom and also a homeschool mom.
I love it. Very good.
Busy.
Good for you guys. Well done. So what kind of debt was the $100,000?
Student loans.
Yes.
Oh,
Some small
loans.
No, some credit cards, little ones. We had one bank loan and a second mortgage loan, like a down payment loan. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty normal.
All right. Wow. Well, what got you started on this almost 3 years ago?
Actually, I had observed a really close friend of mine, Tyler Kakak, at my studio where I worked as an animator. He was an animator too, and him and his wife Samantha were working really hard on your baby steps. And I remember specifically a meal where all of us went out to eat, and he pulled out his little lunch, and it was like a PBJ or something. And I'm spending $22 on like a pizza.
Yeah.
And I just watched him and watched their hard work, their sacrifice, their obedience, and I wanted that. And so when
watching disciplined people is inspiring.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I don't care what it is, whether it's somebody that's losing weight, or whatever, somebody's, they're finishing their degree, whatever. It's inspiring to watch somebody pay a price to win.
So that was it. And then the tipping point for us when we decided it was time is when I was sitting in the car and I had a tax return check, and it was the same as baby step 1 plus our smallest loan. And I was like, I want this to last because it just disappears so quick.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of it. So I turned on your show and I reached out to Tyler, my friend, and who's here. They're here today.
All right.
Yeah, they're supporting us right there.
Cool.
I reached out to him and started asking questions, and they lent us your book, The Total Money Makeover, and that was...
There it is.
It just took off.
Game on.
Yep.
And so you're busting all the way along. You got the finish line in sight. You can see the yellow tape, and the job goes.
Yeah, we were getting so close. We were on track, and then the job went. And this is the cool part of the story is I told my wife, I was like, my plan's not working for our family. I'm not doing this right. So I want to see what God's going to do. And so he's a bit of a show-off.
He is.
If you go back to when I was 19.
That whole thing, he thinks he's God and all. Yeah.
We went back to when I was 19 and I had started working for a company. That parent company I ended up working for again later. So when I lost my job, they counted all those years of service. So my severance was the amount we needed to pay off our debt.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just
like that. And then you held on to it till you get the next gig.
Yep, we got the
which
next
is what
gig.
you should do. You should push pause.
Yeah,
in the middle of a storm. Yeah,
COVID.
And and then you get the next gig, and here we go.
We're ready to go, and we sold the house.
Oh, there's that too.
So we lost a lot. It was a year of change and loss, but it was the best time to sell the house too. So there's some silver lining in there, some other blessings as well. So we're trying to look at those.
Well, and it's all up from here, man. That's so cool. Well done. That's impressive.
It is impressive. So I got to know, since your buddy's here, did you start eating PB&J once you committed to this?
Oh yeah, I created my own, and I lost a lot of weight, and I was like, I made like these pizzas out of tortilla shells, and I ate them like every day.
Yeah.
Yes, every day.
Aldi's was our
years of tortilla shell pizza.
Oh yeah, that was Aldi's was our main place. We discovered how great it was for our budget, and every dollar, and our groceries is what killed us. So that saved us when we switched.
Way to go, guys.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Way to go. That's so fun. How's it feel now that you're free?
I have a cool story about that. I didn't know it had happened. We had received the payment for the house, the money we got from the sale, and I was telling Tyler over the phone, I was like, I saw the number and I was like, cool. But if you would have gone back 3 years ago, I would have been like, oh, thank the Lord, I need this. And so I was like, I think I don't care. And he goes, no, you have peace.
Oh.
I was like, oh man, yeah, this feels good. I like this.
That's what it is.
We're not desperate.
I haven't had that feeling before. I didn't know what it was.
we believe we can make everything work on small numbers because we've done it. And God has given us everything we need. So everything else is meant to overflow to others. And so that's where we're headed.
Nellie, what was the hardest part for you?
I'm the free spirit in this relationship. So knowing that we're going to have a budget was really hard for me in the beginning. But in my gut, I knew that the Lord was pressing something upon our lives, and I should just trust Him and follow that. So I think trusting and knowing that a budget is a good thing was really hard for me. So,
did you get a voice in the budget, and that gave you more comfort? Or did he just tell you what it was?
No, he actually gave me a little bit of spending.
It's called the Miscellaneous Sink Fund.
Okay.
Every month.
Just for Mama to stay sane, for a little bit.
Okay. Nellie's Sanity Fund.
Yeah.
It's a good one. You need to have a line item for that.
Yes.
I like it. Like, why do this debt-free journey with your spouse if they're not going to be there at the end? That's an interesting insight. Yeah.
Wise man.
So Nellie, I got to ask you, because I think this is really great, a great relationship story here. How long did it take for you to then acclimate to this and go, okay, now I'm in. I've got the sanity part. Now I'm convicted and I'm all in.
I think after our first vacation, we were 2 weeks before our Key West, Florida vacation.
I dropped the bomb.
And he dropped the bomb that we need to have a budget for this vacation. And I was like, you did not. But he did. And during this vacation, I realized we did not have a financial fight.
Not one.
I could get macarons, and we have a budget for that. That was nice.
Yeah.
For the first time, I didn't feel any tension after purchasing something. So having that freedom was
awesome. Sounds like Rachel.
I've heard a story about Rachel and her vacation by the pool.
Like
yeah.
It's that permission to spend.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what a budget is.
We had never done that before. I never thought of it that way. So that was probably the biggest thing for us was discovering we're actually very free with a budget.
Very good.
That was cool.
Good for you guys. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations. And you brought the kiddos with you. What are their names and ages?
Go ahead.
Layla, 7, Lincoln, 6, and Leona, who's 3.
All right. Very fun.
Ready?
Good. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. You've obviously changed your legacy and your whole family tree. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And another copy of the Total Money Makeover, because time to give that to somebody so they can get started. And that way you can pay it forward, and we'll start that for you. So congratulations, you guys. Very proud of you. Good-looking family. It's awesome stuff. $100,000 paid off in 34 months, making 83 to 106. Brock, Nellie, Layla, Lincoln, and Leona. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! I love it! Woo! You know who the second happiest guy in the room is? his friend who got him to do it.
Oh, no question. Beaming
Way to go,
over there.
dude.
Great
Way to
legacy
go.
there.
Way to go, man. That's pretty cool.
How about the kiddos, Dave? They crushed it.
Yeah, they were practicing.
Yeah.
That had been rehearsed. Well done. And you know what? They may remember it, too.
I
The
think
day
so.
their family changed their life. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Homeschool parents, we know that preparing your teen for the real world can feel like a really big job. It does for all parents. And teaching them complicated money topics like compound interest, taxes, insurance, and don't get in debt. But you can do it. Our homeschool curriculum can help. Foundations in Personal Finance has helped over 5 million students learn the money lessons that they need to thrive now and down the road. This homeschool curriculum has all of the lesson plans, video content, and activities already created, giving you some well-needed time back in your day. Text homeschool to 33789 to learn more about our life-changing personal finance curriculum for middle and high schoolers. Text homeschool to 33789. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Even if you mismeasure or you pick the wrong color, they'll remake your blinds for free. Free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
Today's question comes from Melissa in Alabama. I'm 35 years old, have worked at a major corporation for 10 years, and advanced my career to a very comfortable financial spot. However, this role has been physically and mentally draining since COVID. I'm grateful for the job and the benefits. However, I'm extremely unhappy. My husband is also starting up a side hustle, and I'm building my own business doing something that fills my cup. We are selling our rental home, and I plan on taking a 12-month sabbatical from my job to build our businesses. We would rely on the profit from the rental sale to offset my income. Should we be investing the sale proceeds instead of using them this way, or does happiness and quality of life outweigh investing? Well, Dave,
brother.
The way this question is set up, it's almost impossible for
drama
me.
Queen question.
So here's the deal.
Does happiness matter?
Yeah, no.
Come on.
The baby steps in the financial plan that we teach at Ramsey Solutions is what matters. So assuming the sabbatical means you can return to the job in 12 months, and that you do, regardless of how much you grow this business, and you don't go backwards in the financial plan that we teach, the baby steps, then sure. But there's so much in here that's unknown and up for opinion and up for emotion. It's really, really hard to delineate an answer there with all that's being presented. But don't go backwards financially.
Not for me. It's not. I can cut right through this crap. Here's the deal. When you were doing just fine until you couch it at the end. Does happiness and quality of life outweigh investing? They're not mutually exclusive, kiddo. That's right. You can actually do both. And so here's the thing. You are just sick and tired of this job. Well, so suck it up until you can get your side hustle up and running. You keep working till you get your side hustle up and running. You get it up and running. When you get it up and running and get some money coming in, then you can afford to quit. You quit. But you don't burn off the rental property on the false doctrine, the fatalistic premise that somehow you have to trade money for happiness. That's absolute horse crap. Okay, you're just pissed off. you're scared, you're tired, whatever's going on over at this place you're working, and you do need to exit that place, but you need to tap the brakes and exit it a little bit slower and get your dadgum side hustle up and running. And but you just put too much drama on here. You just really did. You're not going to die. Nobody's trying to kill you. You're okay. You just don't like it anymore. You've been there 10 years, and suddenly you have to hit eject and shoot into the stratosphere. Just calm down a little bit. Get your side hustle going. Use all of the dissatisfaction that you have as fuel for your energy to work a lot of extra hours on this side hustle. Work like a maniac for 6 to 12 months. Get that side hustle money coming in, and then you can quit, and you don't have to sell the rental to pull that off. That's just, if you want to sell the rental, that's fine. But don't sell the rental and then burn the money at the altar of happiness. That's absolute BS. It's overplayed. Sorry. I've been in situations where I'm disgusted too, and it took me a while to dig out of the manure, but it takes a while to shovel when there's a full truckload of it. So just shovel, kid. Shovel. You'll be all right. God, I'm getting old and angry. It's just grouchy.
No, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think there's so much more I'd love to know on this particular question, and you're kind of but I agree with what you're saying. That's definitely an option. I just don't want to see somebody go backwards financially because they want to grow the side hustle faster.
There's no reason to.
There's no reason.
It's not, and the side hustle's unproven.
Oh well, yeah. We don't even know what it is. I mean, my goodness, would 12 months even grow it? That's what I mean. Yeah.
Hope you hit.
There's no guarantee that a 12-month sabbatical gets the business where you want it to.
There's no guarantee the business ever gets there.
Exactly. So that's why it's a very interesting question.
Yeah. But it's just, what happens is that people, they build up. We all do this, but it requires some adult maturity to work our way past it. I do it too.
Sure.
I'm not different than her. I'm a drama queen too. And so you build up this apex, this frustration, and it reaches a boiling point, and then when you hit that top, a switch flips, and you're just ready to do anything to get away from it.
Yep.
You just it was a slow climb to get there, but once you're there, it's like, whatever it takes, I got to get away from this situation because this situation is driving me bananas.
Yeah.
And unless you're in danger, or there's an ethics problem, or something extreme, all it is just frustration reached a boiling point.
Yes, I agree.
And I do it all the time. I do too. I go along, and then all of a sudden I'm done.
Yes.
And I have to stop and go, wait a minute, that didn't happen suddenly.
That's right.
That's in my head.
I loved your analogy of the eject button. That's really strong because it's like we only hit eject when death is certain if we don't get out, right? Or extreme financial harm is what you're pointing. And so sometimes we feel eject, but it's not really eject.
Yeah. But okay. Rob is with us. Rob is going to help me get out of this. Rob's in Orlando. Hey, Rob, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So my wife and I, we're currently in baby step 6 with the goal to pay off our mortgage.
Good for you.
Getting ready to thank my married way up for sure. We're getting ready to celebrate our 6-year anniversary this weekend. We currently have about $213,000 left on the mortgage. It's got an interest rate of 4.375%, and we are paying extra to do that. But we've also got some non-retirement investments, about $12,000 in individual mutual funds and about $32.5 in individual stock through my wife's employee stock purchase program that goes back about 20 years that she bought at the beginning of her career with the company she's with.
Where did you learn the baby steps?
From my wife and from you.
Okay.
But starting with her.
The essence of the baby steps begins at baby step 1, and that is where you sell everything that is non-retirement and you apply it to the baby steps. Baby step 1 is 3 to 6 months. Baby step 1 is $1,000. 2 is debt-free. 3 is 3 to 6 months of expenses. 4 is you start putting 15% of your income into retirement. 5 is kids' college, and 6 is pay off the house. And so until you have done those things, you wouldn't have these other investments still intact. And so I would have had you sell them when you started the whole process, but you're late in the game. But let's go ahead and sell them now and apply them to the house.
So the challenge that we have on the employee stock purchase shares is they're so long ago that we moved it all to our SmartVestor Pro, but the base price the purchase price for those shares didn't transfer over because something about the company that was holding them before, it was before the date that they're required.
You're just going to have to get some kind of a ruling to establish a basis. You have to establish a basis, but that doesn't mean you can't sell them. You've got to somehow establish a basis for tax purposes, because you're going to have some taxes on it, is what you're saying. But, oh well, do it anyway. Let's get the house paid off as quick as we can. All non-retirement investments apply to the baby steps all the way up. I'm not sitting there with $200,000 worth of stock or $10,000 worth of stock. Well, I got a mortgage. Should have been put on the mortgage. That's what I'm doing with it. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. We just launched a brand new listener survey. We want to know what you think about the show. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. No purchase necessary. Take the survey at RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where Dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of The Ken Coleman Show, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Ken's new book, From Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love, is on pre-sale. It will be coming out in a month or so, and we have it on pre-sale with... This is an unusual offering. We always offer a lot of goodies with a book when we have it here on pre-sale. Usually give you about $100 worth of bonus items when you buy a $20 book early, because we want you to buy it early because it helps us, helps Ken, helps the bestseller list, and you get a deal because you get all this stuff. So we bribe you. In this case, we've got 2 possible ways to bribe you. That's pretty cool. Get Hired Bonus Pack, which is the ebook, the audio book, Ken Coleman's Get Hired digital course, Ken Coleman's resume templates, the 1 live stream access from Paycheck to Purpose live event, and the Ramsey Plus extended 30-day trial. And all of this is, it's close to $200 worth of stuff. And the Get Promoted bonus pack is very similar, but it also has the Ramsey disc assessment and the live stream access as well, and the Ramsey Plus extended. So check all of this out at Ramsey Plus, or at RamseySolutions.com in the store if you want to get a great deal on Ken Coleman's book. And if you really want to get a great deal, go ahead and pre-purchase that and pre-purchase Christy Wright's new book, Take Back Your Time. And you get both of them, and you're going to spend like $40 for 2 books, and you're going to get like $500 worth of stuff when you do that between the 2 of them. It's a great deal right now, and Christy's book's going to come out very quickly here and just about done. So the special's just about done on it, so you don't want to miss out on all that. All of that to say, we're here to talk to you about your life, your money, your career. Ken is here to help you with that. 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Tim is in Pittsburgh. Hi, Tim. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Really happy to be speaking with you today.
You too. What's up?
All right. So, hey, I just got a new job. It's my second one out of college. I'm doing pretty good. They're offering to give me a company car, and I went ahead and accepted it. I'm asking you today if I should sell my old one or if I should keep it kind of for a while because I'm a relatively new employee.
What is the old car?
The old car is a 2018 Ford Focus.
So it's worth $5,000?
I looked up the Blue Book. The Blue Book on it's about $11,000.
Oh, it's more than that. Okay. All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you making?
So I'm making $70,000 with the
car
with
paid
my
for?
base salary, and then no, not yet.
Oh, what do you owe on the car?
I owe about $8,500 on it.
Sell it.
Okay.
That was easy. Okay, so you have $3,500
Yeah,
bucks.
I figured it.
Yeah, you have $3,500 in your pocket. If the world blows up, go buy you a $3,500 car.
That's kind of what I was thinking. My parents had told me, hey, maybe you should hang on to it for another couple months. And I was saying, I really do not want to have this, the payment on it and then the insurance and everything where the company car I'm allowed to use for my personal miles and they pay for everything. So I'm like, this is a simple answer.
And it's a better car than a Ford Focus too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is called a blessing.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I thought.
Yeah, you're good call, Tim. I think you made a good decision, sir. I'm glad we could confirm it. Keith is in Carbondale, Illinois. Hey, Keith, what's up?
Hey, Dave and Ken, how are you guys doing today?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So we've been doing your plan for quite a while, but unfortunately, before we started that, my wife attended a private college back in 2006, where she took out about a $60,000 private student loan that her father co-signed on, which we obviously know now that was a horrible idea. In 2008, her parents filed for bankruptcy, and then that sent her loan into default. And ever since then, there's been no payments that have been made towards that student loan. It's been kind of floating around ever since. A couple of weeks ago, she got a letter from a credit company, and they now said that her loan is $80,000, but they would be willing to settle it for $20,000.
Do it.
So we're not sure if it's, how to make sure it's legit or if we need to go talk to an attorney or someone to make sure that that's all, a true statement or from a, reputable company. Or
they have the account numbers and everything accurate?
We did ask for proof at one point, and they sent photocopies of what the loan looked like. And it was accurate with when she originally took it out. But they kind of talked to us, in prior years, but more recently, a couple weeks ago, they offered to settle it. But in the document or in the letter, the one-page letter, it doesn't say that it would necessarily settle it in full, but it does say a settlement amount.
Yeah, well, that's what they meant. But just say, I need further clarification that if you accept $20,000 cash as settlement in full of this debt, that nothing further will be owed. I'll accept that. I'll accept that in an email.
Okay, and just get that in writing that they would settle that in full and not be able to come back for any more money later down the road.
Exactly, and the more formal looking that document, the better. But I'm not going to sweat it too much. It's a fairly standard practice in that world, so that doesn't smell like a scam to me at all. It sounds like a normal thing. As a matter of fact, I might counteroffer.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Should we ask if they would go lower because they offered 20? Originally, it was 60. Now they say it's 80.
Yeah.
And they're offering 75% off of the balance. So I wasn't sure if we should offer less than
just say, if you can come down a little more, I think we'll do it, and just see what they say.
Okay.
And see how far. And if they say no way, then do it. But if they say, okay, well, we'll do 15, then that one sentence made you $5,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
now the only caveat is that they did say it has to be paid by the end of the month, and if they don't receive the payment by the end of September, that they could change the terms, which was a little bit.
Yeah, that would be normal. The offer's not standing forever. So have you got have you got the way to get the money together? I don't care if you borrow it because you're already $80,000 in debt, and we change that out for 15 or 20.
Right.
That's a good deal. So even if you put it on a credit card, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Yeah, we've been doing the steps, so we actually paid everything else off besides the student loan. So we actually have been kind of moving through the steps to get to the point where, if they do reach out again, we'll be ready to,
Oh, good. How much do you have?
So we have a $20,000 emergency fund right now.
Good. Well, call them and settle the deal, man. Write them a check. No electronic access to your checking account. Must be in writing. That's the 2 rules on settling a debt. You're going to be taxed on the difference. There'll be a 1099-C coming where your debt forgiveness is taxable event, and that includes private student loans. This is The Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, host of the Ken Coleman Show, and author of the new book From Paycheck to Purpose, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. New York City, Benjamin is calling. Hi, Benjamin. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Sure. What's up?
So I drew up a product design for how to secure your bicycle wheels to your bike to protect it against theft. I have $5,000 in the bank. I have no debt. I want to know, am I in a position to pursue it, and how should I also? I reached out to these companies that claim they'll help you throughout the whole process and get a license to manufacture. I want to know if that's a good way to do things. I mean, the return didn't sound very good, but I just don't know.
Yeah, they're 90% BS. I'd stay away from them.
Yeah.
They want to help you get the patent, and they want to help you get distribution, and they want to help you get manufacturing, and they want you to give them $10,000 or $15,000 up front, and then they run out of money, and then the whole thing doesn't happen. So no, I want you to gut this up from. What you're engaging in is a very difficult process, but they are not they're not your silver bullet.
Yeah. I've had the privilege to interview several founders that started companies from scratch, very, very small, and now are very successful. And they did their own legwork on all of this. Manufacturing, they did it all. Distribution, they did their own homework. It had to make sense to them. And I think the advice I'd give here is what we give to people when it comes to investing. Don't make a decision until you understand it. When you sit down with one of our Smart Investor Pros, when you sit down with manufacturers, when you sit down and learn about distribution, don't make a decision unless you understand it. Don't ever take someone else's advice. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can get really, really ripped off. It could be really devastating.
Yeah. So, have you made a prototype?
I made it, but not out of the correct materials, so I can't properly test to see if it actually protects against theft.
Okay. What will it take to build a prototype?
I really don't know. I'm guessing I'd have to go to somebody who pours metal, and he would make a mold for me and pour one of them.
Could it be just done with a machine at a machine shop?
Possibly. I guess so. Yeah, it's not such a complex piece.
Yeah, if it could just be cut rather than molded, it'll be cheaper. And so you might find somebody to mold it, but you're going to pay for the mold then. And here's the problem. When you pay for the mold on a prototype, you're going to change it, and the mold's going to go in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
And so your mold cost just goes away then. And with a machine shop piece, it's just a custom-made version, and it's going to go in the trash too. But you're not throwing away the process of manufacturing in there, the mold itself. So it may work out. I don't care if you bid it out both ways. Get somebody that does both, and get a test on it. and consider several different materials. If you can get around a machine, the reason I'm sending you to a machine shop is if you can get some guys in a machine shop who kind of catch the vision of it and they kind of think it's fun to work on it, they're inventors also. They invent stuff every day, and so they can't keep themselves from doing it. And so they'll kind of help you with your design, and they'll go, oh man, don't make it out of this kind of metal, make it out of that kind of metal. It'll be lighter and it'll work better and it'll be cheaper. And they'll kind of start becoming your little advisor there in the process because they'll plug into the situation. Even if it's an old crusty dude that's been doing it 1,000 years, he'll have an opinion.
Especially that guy, Dave.
Yeah, well, but it's harder for him to get excited about it. Maybe,
oh, sure.
He's seen 1,000 of these things come and go. But get you a prototype, and then the next step is. And this is how the folks do it all the time. And we've worked with folks in entree leadership all over the nation that have brought stuff to market. We've brought things to market. Now, not bicycle stuff, but and not exactly the same thing. But so the next step is to try to sell some of them off of the prototype and get some orders for the first run, and that'll pay for your first run. And so if you could get 3 bike shops to order 500 of them or order 50 each, and you got to order for 150, and that might pay for your first 500 or whatever that you run. And oh, by the way, let me just tell you, 2 years after you start making them, it's going to look completely different. You're going to do it completely different. You're going to throw so much crap away, it's going to blow your mind. Because it's going to change. It's going to morph. It's going to iterate. It's going to change, and so this is going to be an adventure for you, sir. But it sounds like it's something that'll be fun. Don't spend any money you don't have. It's going to be cash only, and pay as you go. But if you can get orders for 100, and they'll give you a deposit on those orders, that'll help you go to the little manufacturer and get some of them poured or get some of them machined or whatever it has to be done. And then you can get going from there. And there have been people that have started all kinds of, start reading books on the subject. You're going to find lots of entrepreneurs that have done exactly what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. So much information out there. I love sending them to a fabricator. I'm thinking these guys that are working on cars, they can fabricate all kinds of stuff, something like this, and test it. I think that's great advice, Dave. You get it in a local bike shop, and we prove that it can work. Now we can go, and he doesn't have to sign off thousands of dollars to somebody who's going to make your invention huge. Just run from any of that.
Don't look to get discovered.
Yeah.
Listen, ideas are a dime a dozen. People who can implement them are what are rare.
Yeah.
And, somebody comes in here and says, I want to show you this idea for Ramsey to do, and you have to sign an NDA, and you have to do all this stuff. I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm busy.
That's right.
Ideas are a dime a dozen. People who can do them are hard to find. And so you're the secret sauce in this. It's not your idea. By the way, for those of you that don't ever get around folks that work like that with their hands, I had the pleasure of growing up with them, and I have a couple of friends that, I'll tell you a guy that did exactly that, and it's a business that's hundreds of millions of dollars. Is Ronnie Barrett?
Yes,
made the Barrett 50 cal.
Yes,
and he made it he made a 50 cal machine gun in a machine shop.
Yeah,
and now they're used in virtually every army in the free world.
Yeah.
And every form of military in the free world. And but Ronnie is one of those guys. That's what made me think of it. Is he is a spatial savant. He can see things in space and see how it's going to work together. And a lot of the guys that can see things in 3D and gals are in these shops.
Yes,
they're the ones that can help you figure out, and they'll help you shoot holes in your design idea.
Oh,
because
easy.
They can see how it works or doesn't work immediately, and they'll know the metallurgy and which type of thing. So a fabricator is they're good people to have in your corner.
I love watching these custom car shows on Netflix and Amazon Prime where they're building these cars from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's these kind of people. They can see stuff that no one else can see, and they can fabricate anything.
And that's how you're going to do this, sir. So I'm excited for you. Can you tell? We think you ought to go do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do it with cash. Do it slow. Don't look for a fairy godmother There's not one.
That's right.
There's no dust that's going to turn you into, keep you from turning into a pumpkin Cinderella. You just is. And so have at it.
That's
you
right.
know, you just got to gut this out. You got to scratch and claw your way through. You can do it. If it's going to be done, you're going to do it. If it doesn't get done, you didn't do it. That's what it's going to come down to. And, you know, that's true of so many things in our lives.
It is. It's all up to us. If it is to be, it is up to me. I don't know who said it, but it's been around forever.
Yeah. Keep looking for a pill you can take to get out of debt. Blake Thompson used to have that commercial we had on the air called Detonol. You could take this pill and get out of debt.
Yes.
Detonol.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for a magic pill.
Yeah.
It's not a magic pill. This is the Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Author of the brand new book, Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love. It's on pre-sale right now with all kinds of great deals in a bundle at RamseySolutions.com. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions, on the debt-free stage, Kyle and Allie are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing good.
Welcome. Where do you live?
Brazelton, Georgia. Just north of Atlanta.
Okay, wonderful. And how much debt have you paid off?
$105,000.
Good. How long did this take?
27 months.
All right. And your range of income during that time?
So when we started, it was right between 80 and 85,000, and then last year we finished just under 120,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
So I'm a physical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in real estate, but my main gig is being home with our girls.
That works. Yeah. Good gig. All right. Love it. What kind of debt was the $105,000?
So it was student loans, a car loan, and a personal loan, but the majority of that was graduate school, was physical therapy school.
Okay. So you guys were kind of normal?
Exactly.
Very normal.
How long have you been married?
Well, actually, today is 9 years.
Oh, happy anniversary.
So, I was like, what would be more romantic than going to Ramsey Solutions and doing our debt-free scream? So, we're happy to be here.
Quick, someone get the rose petals out.
Yes.
But yeah, 9 years today.
Wow, I love it. Well, the older you get, the weirder things are that are romantic. I'm just saying. Very cool. Good job, you guys. So, what got you started 27 months ago on this journey?
So really, the birth of our first daughter got us started. I found out I was pregnant, and we would just have times during the month where we would look at our bank account and wonder where our money went. And when she was about 2 months old, we sat at kitchen table and just listed out all of our debt, and we were just crushed by the amount and just felt very discouraged. And so Kyle had started listening to the podcast, and that really kind of pushed us to start to follow the plan?
Yeah, so at that point, I got a second job. I work primarily outpatient orthopedic stuff, and I got a second gig at a hospital. And at first, I was working like 1 or 2 Saturdays a month. But then, like Allie said, we were kind of hit the point where we were sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I got to where I was working pretty much 6 to 7 days a week. There was one stretch I worked 40-something days in a row without a day off. The craziest thing I ever did was last year during COVID, the hospital I worked at had these weird night shifts where you're sort of screening people in the emergency room. So I would work my daytime job from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., go home for a little bit, and then work at the hospital from 9:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m.
Whoa!
Go home, take a nap, and then go back to my daytime job at 8 o'clock. So it's pretty crazy. So
you were making some bank doing that.
Yes,
about to kill yourself. Oh my gosh!
But right.
Wow, you
How long
wanted
did
out.
you do that?
So I did that normally once a week, sometimes twice a week, and did that for maybe a few months. But we were just really, like you said, just banking up as much as we could, and like everything was going towards debt. So it was great.
Wow. Yeah. So you kind of emotionally hit the wall and say, this is a desperate situation. It requires desperate times. And you were so desperate that you turned on our podcast.
Right. Yeah, right. That's good. But yeah, and during those days, it's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to, go to work on Saturday and Sunday. And I actually lead worship part-time at our church. So there would be Sundays where I'd go to church, lead worship, go to the hospital after that. But the verse you guys always quote is Hebrews 12:11. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but in the end it yields a harvest of righteousness. So that was something that really just motivated us. It's a short term. It's not if we're going to get out of debt, it's when we're going to get out of debt.
And how fast.
And how fast, right. Yeah. So that really kept us motivated the whole time.
You live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. By the way, if you work like no one else later, you can work like no one else. So you kind of work now like whenever you want to.
Yes, exactly. So
you're nice. Like, you're just working part-time at 40 hours.
Exactly right. So
you feel lazy.
Right, for sure. She drives her crazy because on weekends I'm like, I need to be doing something. I need to be doing something.
You're fine.
Yeah, we're home, spending time with the family.
Down,
so
boy, down.
Exactly right.
I want to ask you about those intense work moments. Let's call it a short season, but it was a season where you were really getting after it. And so when you're physically exhausted and your brain starts going, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. Where did this conviction, the gazelle intensity, where did the emotion kick in when the physical wasn't there?
I'll have Allie touch in about like our why a little bit, if you want to talk about that.
Well, really just when we couldn't keep going anymore, we just remember our girls. We actually had our second baby back in February. So we knew that we wanted to create a good future for our kids. And that was just the biggest thing for us.
And physically, it's kind of amazing what the human body is capable of doing on an hour of sleep. So really just going home, looking at my girls, I got 3 girls at home. So, that really just keeps you motivated for sure. And knowing that it is a temporary amount of time, it's not, I'm working 80 hours a week for 6 years.
You couldn't do that if you thought it was a way of life.
Exactly, right.
Yeah. Right. I guess you could, but it'd be very
It would not be very fun.
It wasn't fun anyway.
That's amazing. You've been preaching a little bit. I'm thinking of Isaiah, when he talks about those that wait upon the Lord. Will mount up on wings, soar like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. You were running, but you weren't weary because of the emotion. Those girls' faces kept popping up.
That's right, for sure.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Wow.
All right, so now you pay off $105,000 in 27 months. We know one of the secrets is lots of hard work.
That's right.
Lots of hours. What are the secrets to getting out of debt in addition to that?
Lots of sacrifice and being on the same page. We really had to be united as
because
a team.
He's gone, and when he's there, he's tired.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So we started parenthood, and then he started working all the time. So it was tough. It was really tough.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely worth it.
Definitely a team effort for sure.
Yeah. And just kind of fun little aside, we were actually here at Money and Marriage in February of last year, right before the world shut down.
Oh, my God.
That's right.
And we met Rachel and took a picture with her right here and said
cool.
we'd be back next year.
And we
Here
did.
you are.
And you did.
You are scream.
All right. We'll let her know you did that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. Well, congratulations, you guys.
Thank you.
Outside of the two of you, who are your biggest cheerleaders?
Definitely our families. I think
sure.
they thought we were crazy at times, but they supported us.
Yeah, lots of friends and family, people at work, saw me, working all the time, and they were kind of inspired by that and just would kind of encourage me as I was going through that for sure. And actually at the time, one of my office coordinators at my clinic that I worked during my day job, her and her husband were going through their debt-free journey, so we would kind of keep each other accountable. And one of the pictures I sent him was my 99 Toyota 4Runner, 273,000 miles. That's a big part of the story because I didn't have to get a car payment. And there would be times like, man, that 2021 TRD Pro looks so nice. But just talk me off the ledge here. So, that was a little part of our debt-free journey. But yeah, lots of friends and family at work for sure.
Definitely.
So the whole method of plugging into us was 100% the podcast.
Yeah, I would say we had heard the book. Obviously, Dave Ramsey was kind of a name growing up.
We
for
grew
sure.
up in church and heard your name a lot. But
the podcast was really, you hear so many inspiring stories of people who are, single parents or, they just lost a loved one and they go through it and it's like, these people can do it. Why can't we do it?
Exactly.
So, yeah, all I'm doing is working 150 hours a week. I mean, it's no big deal. Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Wow. Well, congratulations, you two.
Thanks.
Very proud of you. You're amazing people.
Thank you.
Rock star young couple. Very, very cool. How old are you?
32.
31.
She likes to let me know she's 31.
I like that.
4 months older than her.
Yeah,
another month of it.
She's robbing the cradle. That's what she's doing right there. 9 years ago. Congratulations and happy anniversary. Very well done. Got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you and the Total Money Makeover as well. Kyle and Allie, Atlanta, Georgia, $105,000 paid off in 27 months. One of the hardest working guys we've run into in a while, making 80 to 120. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
Yeah! Well done, well done, well done. Absolutely fabulous. This is The Ramsey Show. If you haven't heard, two of our Ramsey personalities have brand new books coming out. Both of them will be national bestsellers. Ken Coleman's new book, From Paycheck to Purpose, The Clear Path to Doing Work You Love, is on sale right now, including 2 different bonus packs that you can choose from. Either you want to get hired or you want to get promoted. And you choose the appropriate bonus pack. It's about $200 worth of stuff when you buy a $20 book from him. And the same situation for Christy Wright's new book, Take Back Your Time, The Guilt-Free Guide to Life Balance. Now, this one's getting ready to end because this book's getting ready to come out. September 13th is the last day to pre-order, so you got about a week and a half, 2 weeks to do this, and you get $50 to $100 worth of bonus items when you pre-order the book. So you do want to pre-order these books because you get all these goodies with it for free. So here's an idea. You could spend $40, 20 on Christy's book, 20 on Ken's book, and you'd get close to $500 worth of stuff added on there. That's pretty stinking incredible. So you want to be sure you get all that lined up, and all happening over at RamseySolutions.com right this second. Ken Coleman is my co-host today. Doug is with us. Doug is in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Doug. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks, Dave. I was calling because a little background story. I used to be an addict in gambling, and I've gone ahead and been sober for 3 years now.
Good for you. Well done. How'd you do that?
Well, honestly, lost everything.
Okay.
It was kicked out of the house, lost the car, kicked out of another house, and so that's kind of where I was leading to. Is that
did you get help from somebody, GA or what?
No, actually, my fiance now was just by my side and said that in order for us to keep a family together and for me to be around my daughter was either to clean it up or not be a part of her life, and I couldn't really see that in the future. So,
wow,
kind of a little ultimatum, and so sucked it up and went on with it.
So you've been dry 3 years.
Yep.
Good for you.
So I was able to get the finances back under control, start paying bills on time because I was able to see the money coming into the account. I have debt with the evictions and the repos, but no active debt, no credit card, no student loans, anything like that. So the reason I'm calling is because back to the situation to where I'm not spending money at a casino, but I don't know where my money is going. I see the paychecks coming in. By the end of the week, I'm back down to the point to where I'm getting scared to where bills aren't going to be paid on time. And I don't want to relapse per se and get back into the situation where I go make $300-400 real quick just to pay the light bill.
Yep. I like that.
So,
I like it. You recognize the tightness in your chest and your throat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's smart. That's wise. Okay. Now, your fiance, did you marry?
We are getting married at the end of the year.
Okay. Well, congratulations on that. Okay, so here's the thing. I want you guys it sounds like you're married, or it sounds like you're living together with a baby, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as soon as you're married, you need to be sure you're doing this, but between now and then you can practice working together on the budget.
Okay.
So here's the thing. The way you stop living hand to mouth is 3 things. Obviously, if we lower expenses, that helps. Obviously, if we increase our income, that helps. But the most important thing is to live on a plan. A written budget will make you feel like you got a raise. In your case, what it'll do is give you peace.
Right.
Because right now, money is a stress point. It's an area of great anxiety, and
for me and my fiance.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's scared you're going to do stupid again. You're scared you're just going to twist out and not know what to do. And so here's the thing: it's a pretty simple idea, but you have to do it with great discipline, and you will get tremendous peace from this, and B, you're going to feel like you got a raise. Okay. So here's how it works. I'm gonna sign you up for Financial Peace University to learn how to handle money, and in that you get for a year. I'm going to put you in the Ramsey Plus for a year. Okay, it's a membership thing. We're going to put you in there for a year. In that, you also get our premium version of the world's best budgeting app. It's all free for you. Okay, it's called Every Dollar. Now, the premise of doing a budget is this: the number of dollars you have coming in this month. Not a template, not the perfect month from heaven, but this month. Today is the 1st. In September, what dollars are going to come in? You put those if you just draw, just get a yellow pad and put that number at the top of the page. And then I want you to give and that's you and your fiance, I want you to give every one of those dollars, the 2 of you working together to do this, an assignment. The first assignment that comes out of that is food. The second one is lights and water. The third is you keep the transportation rolling. And the fourth is you pay the rent. Now, if you've got all of that covered, and by the way, you can,
right,
then the rest of it is just kind of monopoly.
Okay.
Because once you know you have a place to live and the light's not going to be cut off and you got food, your stomach relaxes. That tightness in your chest starts to go down, and you go, and I still got thousands of dollars laying here on this pad I've got to figure out what to do with, and you give every one of those an assignment. And then, oh, by the way, you live by that once it's done. You don't spend money on anything, anywhere, anytime, unless it's on that freaking paper.
Got it.
You're in charge of the budget until it's done, and then it's in charge of you. You get to decide it. You get to decide it, but then it tells you what to do.
How would I go about the non-active debt? per se. Just worry about that after, or
that's the last thing you deal with. First thing we deal with is get this crap out of your life that's where it's all swimming around in your head and about to blow your head's about to explode, right?
Right.
We got to get rid of that first. But then once you get past all of that, then way down the list is going and cleaning up the past.
Okay.
And all you're going to do there is, with the exception of if somebody's suing you or something, I would just list those debts smallest to largest, and I would look at the smallest one, and I would call that one and work a deal with them. Okay. Not a payment deal, a lump sum deal.
Just pile up cash.
Yep, in writing. So, is a repo, a tenant eviction, and what else?
That's two tenant evictions and a repo.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, have any of them given you a number?
No, I haven't gotten any judgments. Nothing.
No request for collection. No nothing.
No, I haven't, and it's honestly been 3 years. I mean, so yeah. I haven't. I mean, okay. I haven't.
So here's what's going to happen. Let's say you call up landlord number one, and it was an apartment complex, corporate operation, and they say we added it all up, and it's $6,000. You say I can't do that, but I do have $2,000.
Okay.
They'll take it.
Okay.
You may have to argue with them a little bit, but they'll take it. You get that in writing. In writing. Do not do it unless it's in writing. And do not allow anyone to have electronic access to your checking account. You give them a money order, a prepaid debit card, or you give them cash and get a receipt.
Oh. Okay. Perfect.
I don't care what it is, a certified check, whatever, but don't let them get in your checking account because they'll clean you out. So each one of them are going to name a number that's going to go, like the repo, you can sell that repo for about 12 cents on the dollar.
Okay.
And it's just for the deficit. It's what they sold the car for, subtracted from the balance. Plus, they've added all kinds of repo fees and legal fees to it, and you just got to cut that back down. And, hey, man, you're going to turn this around. I can tell. You're a guy you've changed your life. And now I get to be a tiny bit of the backside of the story. So you hang on. Kelly will pick up, and Ken and I are going to give you Ramsey Plus for a year, which includes Financial Peace University and every dollar, the premium version. A lot of other things as well, but coaches are in there. Everything's in there. Pretty cool. Yeah, he's going to have a fun life.
Yeah. All that pain is going to turn into something pretty passionate. It's exciting.
That much manure, there's got to be a pony in there somewhere.
That's right.
This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. We just launched a brand new listener survey. We want to know what you think about the show. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. No purchase necessary. Take the survey at RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, is my co-host today. We're here to help you with your life, your money, your career. Ken Coleman's show, The Ken Coleman Show, talks about jobs and careers every day, getting in work that you love, getting involved in work that matters, and we'll take calls about that as well. The phone number, 888-825-5225. Chris is in San Antonio, Texas. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Dave. So my question is, my question, I became a landlord about 22 years ago by default. I have a home in Austin, Texas. I own it, but over that time, that home has grown significantly in value. So I'm at a point in my life where I might want to sell that home, but I just need some direction in knowing if it's the right time for me to do that. And if I do decide to sell it, I want to know if there's any way to possibly avoid capital gains tax.
Well, certainly a hot real estate market, great time to sell real estate. And by and large, that's a general statement, right? Capital gains, you're going to pay capital gains on it. My guess is you've been depreciating it all these years, right?
Yes.
So you probably have an adjusted basis close to zero. The whole thing may be gain.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And so what's the house worth?
I think we could list it for about $550.
Okay. Yeah, so you're going to have, you have $60,000 in capital gains, right?
Yes, that's
no more than that. More than that, 90. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But I have a stable renter who pays on time. So he does a lot of his own maintenance to the property. So the situation right now is kind of ideal. But again, I don't know if the market's going to continue to increase or if it's going to blow up and start, declining in value.
Oh, I think it's going to go up in value. Unless you've got a neighborhood problem. But overall, real estate, I don't think real estate as a category is going to go down. Right. Certainly there are neighborhoods that deteriorate. Sometimes people let their property deteriorate, that kind of thing, but I'm not worried about that part of it. The only thing I know that you can do to avoid capital gains, if you choose now is the time to sell it for you, would be what's called a 1031 Tax Deferred Exchange, and that would involve selling the property into an escrow account and buying another piece of real estate out of that escrow account. And it is in effect a trade, as if you've traded this property for another property, and so you roll your basis into the new property. And so if the new property's $550,000 or less, you're going to have zero basis in it. And
that's what I've heard.
In the new property. So, you're not going to have anything you can depreciate unless you move up in property. And so you can buy $1 million property, but obviously you'd have to put up the money for the difference. And so you're getting further into the real estate business at that point, and it's just a matter of whether you want to do that or not. But for instance, if you wanted to buy 4 houses in San Antonio, $150,000 houses, you could do that.
Yeah.
And being a little, have them out there in your area, be able to spread them out, and you're just rolling the money over from, that's what a 1031 allows you to do. It's kind of like a rollover in the sense you're rolling it from the Austin house over there. Otherwise, you're just going to be paying a 15% capital gains rate or more if you sell it next year. Biden's talking about raising the capital gains rate.
I haven't looked at it lately, Dave. I thought that you didn't have to pay on the first $500,000.
That's personal residence.
Personal. Oh, because this is a
rental.
Okay.
It's been a rental more than 2 of the last 5 years. It is now a rental.
Got it. That explains
You lose that exemption.
Oh,
and he's had this in 22 years.
That's bad policy. Hey, I haven't owned any rental homes yet, so I'm a neophyte on that. But now that irritates me for you.
Yeah, I'm glad.
That's why you're chuckling.
I don't sell them, so you don't have to worry about it.
That is true. You don't. You hold on to them.
I just hold them, but
I can't. That bothers me.
Yeah. Well, there's always a way to raise taxes if you're a Democrat. That's just how it works. So
yes.
All right. Melinda is with us. Melinda's in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Melinda. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Hi, Ken. Thanks for taking my call. I'm really excited to be talking to y'all.
You too. What's up?
So my husband and I, we are about to start baby step 4, 5, 6. And my question is about how to hit that 15% towards our retirement. My husband's base salary is at $185,000, and he gets an additional $30,000 to $35,000 in bonus and stocks. So we're kind of finding that we're hitting that $19,500 401k contribution cap before we hit our 15%. So I was hoping you could kind of talk through what we need to be doing to hit the rest of our 15%. Where can we be putting that?
You can do a couple of Roths. You're going to be over, so you're going to have to do what's called a backdoor Roth. But
okay.
Both of you do a Roth, and that'll just about get you there. That's going to be very close to your 15%. The way a backdoor Roth works is you get with a SmartVestor Pro, and they'll help you get that going. But all you're doing is you open up an after-tax IRA, and then 20 seconds later you roll it to a Roth. Because it's an after-tax IRA, you've already paid the taxes on the money for it went in there just like you would in a Roth, and so when you roll it to a Roth, it has no tax effect. And I do one every year. And it's the only way you can get money into an individual Roth account if you make more than $200,000, and you guys do with all this stuff added up here. So you're gonna bump into that ceiling, but it's called a backdoor Roth. It's actually technically, I guess, it's just a loophole in the law. But someday they'll button that one up, I'm sure. Never have gotten around to it so far. There's a lot of technicalities, a lot of reasons it's very hard to button up. But anyway, aside from that, yeah, you can just open an after tax and roll it to a Roth, and you can do that every year. And so, you'll have plenty of money going in there. Then I think that and the 19 will get you there. I think that'll get you to where you need to be. Hey, thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. It is amazing the amount of energy and brain power and dollars that we spend to get to keep our own money.
Yes.
Last two callers.
Yeah. Got to jump through hoops to keep the government's hands off our money.
It had nothing to do with, is this a good investment? It had nothing to do with, I'm able to get control of my money. It had to do with, how do I keep the government from taking my money? It's a whole new idea, isn't it? Yeah. It's like a full-time job. Oh, yeah, we call them accountants. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey Personality is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. It's a free call, 888-825-5225. We really value the input of our listeners here to The Ramsey Show. It helps us know what's important to you, and we can adjust our content delivery, adjust what we're doing here to make sure we're serving you. We've been doing this a long time, but we can always learn something from you guys. So if you want to take a survey, a listener survey of this show, this podcast, check out RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789. There's a $100 Amazon gift card that you will be in the drawing for if you take the survey. Again, visit RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789. We'd love to hear from you. Nicholas is with us in Miami. Hi, Nicholas. How are you?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. What's up? Yeah, you're going to have to get off your speakerphone or whatever you're doing there. Get back on your regular phone.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what Kelly told you. Okay, how can we help?
So I have a question about inheritance. So basically, my dad has a fairly peculiar relationship with his family, and he has like five siblings / nephews that depend on him fully financially. And I'm my only dad's son. I'm fully financially independent. However, he's getting kind of old, and I want him to set up a will to divide his estate between me and the people that depend on him financially. But he has not been willing to do that.
Why?
So basically, whenever I bring up the topic, he avoids it. He tells me that he's going to do it sometimes, and then he never does it.
Why?
And then, why?
Why does he not do it?
I don't know. He's just he doesn't like to talk about money, basically.
How much money has he got?
I think probably $2 million in his estate.
10 million?
2 million.
2 million. Well, sometime he used to talk about money. Unless he just fell into a pile of it somewhere.
I mean, I think the problem is that basically he's very, I would say, very conservative. He doesn't want to give out any information.
Yeah, he's cynical.
There's some shame about his siblings is still relying on him financially, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So, do you know what his plan is? Does he intend
I
for
have
them?
no idea.
Does he intend for them to get the money?
I have no idea, basically. And he doesn't talk to me about that stuff.
How old is he?
And he's 77.
Okay. I hear some kind of accent that's not Southern. What's your accent? What's your family heritage?
I'm Latino.
Latino.
I'm Latino American.
And he is as well?
Yeah.
Okay. What country?
Colombia.
Okay. All right. And so he came here with nothing.
Yeah, and then he made a significant amount of money.
And he's 77 years old.
Working.
Now, where do his siblings live? Are they back in Colombia or are they in the States?
They're back in Colombia. One of them is in the States, and the other ones are back in Colombia.
Okay. All right. Ken?
I just want to know if you've ever actually sat down with him and said pretty plainly, very clearly, hey, Dad, you need to do something about this, and see if he's actually going to react to you when you do that, or is it just something you're kind of kicking the can around, or all beating around the bush? Just curious. Have you had a direct, responsible conversation about this?
Yeah, basically, I think around last year, one of my uncles died because of COVID, and at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to have this conversation. I sat him down. I told him I want him to make things clear of what will happen with his money, because I don't want to have that problem be pushed to me, or to basically have to figure out what he wanted to do once he's dead.
Sure.
He just avoided it. He told me that he was going to make a will, and then nothing came out of that.
Yeah.
So do you think, what would be your guess if he did do a will that it's going to say? You think he's going to want you to manage this money and take care of his brothers or sisters?
I think that's basically what he actually wants to happen.
Do you want to do that?
I have no interest in doing.
Do you want to do that?
I have no interest in that. No.
Okay. All right. Well, the only thing I know to do is take another run at it, and then you can just wash your hands of it. And another run would sound like this. Where does he live?
He lives back in Colombia at this point.
Oh, he's in Colombia as well. Okay.
Yeah.
When will you be with him again, do you think?
Probably Christmas.
Okay. All right. So what I would do is say this. I would go ahead and let's just not have an abrupt conversation where we hit a wall at Christmas, but go ahead and start talking to him by phone now and just say, Dad, when I'm there, one of two things is going to occur while I'm there, and I need you to know this because I love you. I want you to help you cause your wishes to be had. And so when I'm there, I want to see the will, or you and I are going to go meet with the attorney and the will is going to occur. And, oh, by the way, Dad, I'm not managing this money for your siblings. So you need to have a different idea. I'm not willing to do that. I love you. I don't need the money. And if you want to do that, you can set it up down there with a trust and so forth. But I'm not going to get sucked into this where you've done business poorly and you take up my life. And I'm also not going to get sucked into managing the money for them for the rest of my life. These are not two things I'm willing to do, Dad. I love you. I'll help you any other way I can. And if you want to be responsible, you need to get your will done. And I want to see it when I'm there at Christmas, or I'll go with you when we're there at Christmas. But it does not need to say that I'm going to manage the money for your siblings. And just say all of that on the phone and just let him kind of get, because my guess is it probably takes him a little while to digest it. And you grew up in a culture like I did of honor. Hillbillies and Latinos share that. Okay? We're a culture of honor. And so you have to pay him honor. And yet you can honor him and not abide by his wishes. It's possible, but that's just a matter of telling him that you admire what he does, who he is. You admire that he's taking care of his siblings. I'm not willing to engage in that, though, Dad. And I want to honor you upon your death by making sure that your wishes occur, as long as it doesn't involve me having to do that. And so you're being sloppy with this, Dad, and it's not like you. You're a better businessman than this. And I love you, and I admire you so much. You're one of my heroes. That's how you pay honor.
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
Yep.
And am I right that he's a man of honor?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, nobody else takes care of their siblings except people of honor.
Yeah.
There's a few that do, but they're just psychos. Most people are just, he sees that as an act of honor. That's why he does it.
Yeah.
That's who he is as a person.
I agree.
So you need to, you can tip your hat to him, pay homage to who he is as a man, what a good person he is, and he is a good person. And do all of that, and yet not fall into the trap of getting sucked into managing an estate with no will, nor get sucked into managing his money for his brothers and sisters in perpetuation. And you can just lay those out as boundaries in the discussion, and you can do that while paying him honor, and it's your only shot. If he doesn't do it then, you just wash your hands of it and just say, Dad, I just love you, but I'm not doing nothing when you die, because I begged you to do this. It's all just going to melt down around their heads down there. And, you just turn up the heat on it. I don't know, Ken. Any other ideas?
No, I think it's absolutely right. I think
we need Dr. John Deloney in here.
We do, yeah. Or he needs to read Henry Cloud's Boundaries. I mean, I think that you nailed it. You just have to put it in his court. He doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to talk about it. So he kind of acts like, well, it's just not there. And then, honoring him and respecting him is the way to go, but also forcing the issue.
Yeah, you just got to drive the nail home, baby. I mean, and I think you were right. You're onto something. That the problem is that the old man's just being thick, and it's going to require a little more direct punch in the nose to get the thing moving.
Yeah.
But the only way to do that is with a velvet glove.
That's true.
So this is the Ramsey Show. Ken Coleman Ramsey personality is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225 in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Chad and Emmy Lou are with us. Hey guys, how are you?
Dave, we're so excited to be here.
Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Omaha,
Nebraska, and all the way to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
$250,000.
$250,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Lots of loan interest.
And how long did that take?
About 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years. All right. And your range of income during that time?
Like 123 to 141.
123 to 141. Okay. Cool. Wow. What kind of debt was the 250?
Student loans, mostly.
When we started the baby steps, we had about a little over 200 left on my student loans.
Okay.
And the rest, HVAC, windows, deck.
Wow.
A little bit of home improvement.
Yeah. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm a dispatcher for a transportation company.
And I'm an occupational therapist in the home health setting.
All right. Very cool. What's your degree in that you spent $200,000 for?
A clinical doctorate.
Okay. All right. Good for you.
Very pricey.
Very pricey. Yeah. Yeah. So, and you're making 141. How long y'all been married?
This is our seventh year.
Okay. So after around 4 years of marriage, you begin this journey to get out of debt. What started you on the journey?
Well, that second little baby's sitting over there. I was pregnant with her, and I went into daycare to pick up our first and to reserve her a spot. And I knew how much daycare cost, but walking in, hearing that number, I just had a gut punch. And we've always been frugal. We took your class when we were engaged, thanks to our dad, my dad, and I just knew, I just broke down in tears. I was pregnant. I just knew we could never pay off my loan debt with $20,000 in daycare every year. And that was just 2 kids, and now we have 3, so there's no way. We wouldn't have made any progress. $1,000 extra a month goes nowhere when it's $36 of interest a day.
Yeah.
It was crushing.
we looked at our schedule, and I work nights, so I could watch the kids during the day mostly, and then we'd switch off. So
yeah, our managers were just a godsend. We sat down and we're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
And my manager let me switch my day off, and he has a rotating schedule, and so we make it work. I mean, before COVID, there were times when we met in the driveway with the keys, gave each other a kiss, and I mean, we didn't see each other all week. But now he gets to work from home, at least for now, which is actually a godsend. So
That's
here we
handy.
are.
Yeah. Wow.
that helps.
Very good, you guys. So, how's it feel to be free of $250,000? It was a long 3 years.
It's a lot less crying and more traveling. We can get to this later, but we did our dream trip about 2 weeks ago and took the kids to Disney. And you'll see in the picture, a picture of our kids at Disney, and that just sums up our whole experience. I mean, it's like living your best life in one picture. I mean, I just cry, and I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's fun. I'm glad you celebrated.
We did. Go big.
Wow.
So talk about the intensity. What were some of the most intense sacrifices? I know the passing ships in the night is certainly one of them, but some other sacrifices, things that were so difficult but also made huge impact.
I think the biggest thing is this guy right here. You know, Dave talks about being the man of the house and stepping up and being in charge, and there are days that he doesn't get any sleep. You know, we have 3 kids, and I leave sometimes for work at 6 or 7 in the morning, and that's the big sacrifice is him. I mean, he's done it all for me. I mean, $200,000, that's a lot in student loans to put into.
Wanted to get it done, so whatever sacrifice we can make.
I mean, we sell stuff. We live very frugally. I mean, Nebraska's a low cost of living, but, you know, we didn't eat out. We didn't travel. I mean, we were gazelle. I mean, if you have a definition of gazelle, we were it. I mean, we didn't sacrifice on some things like pictures. Our family pictures is the most important thing to me. But other than that, I mean, that's it.
Yep.
I mean, our clothes, consignment sales, you know, we just did it all. We were so motivated.
What's the thing that you may never eat again?
Ooh.
Is there a meal that you ate too much?
That was like broke people food and you never eat it again?
No, he is the best cook ever.
Oh, you kept it going.
Maid.
Yeah.
I have a Mr. Mom. I have a house. Yeah, he does it all.
So
I mean,
no
he
rice
cooks.
and beans is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
Nebraska
we made it
beef,
taste
Ken.
good, I
Nebraska
guess.
beef.
I love it.
That's good.
I think this guy's got a Superman cape back there behind him.
I know, seriously.
It's pretty incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. You're making the rest of us look bad, dude. I'm just saying.
Seriously, stop.
Well done, you guys. Very well done. That's cool. Okay, what do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is? Because you've done a lot here.
Whew, yeah. Having goals and attaining them was a big thing. You know, I mean, we had the large goal of 3 years of working to pay off this debt, but little goals in between. You know, we can get this loan done, and then this one, and this. You know, just attaining each goal.
And for me, it was just having an end goal in sight. You know, when the kids are little, this is the time to do it. We realize, like, as they get older, there's only more activities to do, more things to get involved with, and more opportunities. And when they're babies, let's face it, you don't want to travel anyway. It's so hard. So we did it. You know, we're like, let's do it now. We're having our kids now, and then we're going to be free forever. I mean, we have 2 years left on our house, and then we're done. I mean, we're living it. It's so great. Thanks to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm so proud of y'all. Well done. You're heroes. Very well done. Great job.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
I love it.
Very good stuff. And so you brought the kiddos with you. What are their names and ages?
Yeah, we have Elliot. He's 4. We have Kinsley, who's 2 years old.
2.5. Come here, buddy.
And then Brenly, who will be
She's our sweet baby girl. She's almost
weeks here.
Hi, Dave Ramsey.
That is Dave Ramsey. You're right,
They're
son.
like, are we going to see the real Dave Ramsey? I'm like, yeah. He watches on TV all the time with Daddy.
Just the digital version. Yeah.
Oh, come here, baby.
Well, we got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you. It's obvious that you have a great legacy. It's a beautiful thing you've done. I'm so proud of y'all. And a copy of the Total Money Makeover as well. The Total Money Makeover for you to give away to somebody and help them start their journey. Chad and Emmy Lou, Elliot, Kinsley, and Brinley, Omaha, Nebraska, $250,000 paid off in 3 years, making 123 to 141. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yeah! Love it, love it, love it. So well done. Beautiful job. Man, The schedule thing with the daycare that's enormous.
Yeah, brutal.
It's an amazing amount of money.
Oh yeah.
That we know that the daycare costs to get in most places. You have to make serious money just to work.
Absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, and she struggled. You think about how much schooling she went through. She's got her doctorate. She does some really important in-home work. That's life-changing for the families that she's engaging with. I mean, and to see how they're working together, the sacrifice. And you know what? Way to go, Chad. I mean, that's some serious props from your wife, man. And that's next level conviction that we talk about. We talk about gazelle intensity.
Yeah.
It's got to come from somewhere. That intensity cannot be manufactured. You know that. It comes from a deep, searing, conviction that this must happen.
I'm sick and tired. I'm not going to live like this. I've had it. I'm not living like this anymore. And you've got to reach that point. Earl Nightingale used to say that it's not what you're willing to do to achieve your goals. It's what you're willing to give up.
Yes.
To achieve your goals. Sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had 2 debt-free callers on the show today, both of which worked unbelievable hours.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a workaholic. You're not a workaholic, honey. Workaholic is when you get your you get your satisfaction from work, so you do nothing else. It's like you're addicted to work.
Yeah.
That's a workaholic. Working hard. Everyone that works hard is not a workaholic. Somebody that's working hard simply has a goal they're trying to hit.
Yeah.
They're living like no one else, so later they can live and give like no one else. I've worked like no one else for 25, 30 years. Now I work when I want to.
Yeah.
I want to be down here and do this show, and that's why I do it every day. But it's a decision. Now, when you do what they've done, now they get choices.
Yeah.
You get margin, you get wiggle room, and it gives you choices. And you don't have to be working for a jerk. You don't have to be stuck in a bad job.
Amen to that.
Toxic situation. Changes everything. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Isaiah 25:1. Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name. For in perfect faithfulness you have done wonderful things, things planned long ago. Michael Jordan said, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, others make it happen. There it is. He certainly does that kind of thing. Ken Coleman, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Q is with us in Nashville. Hi, Q. How are you?
Okay, so...
Okay, you're going to have to get off the speakerphone, kiddo.
Hello?
Yeah, there you go, like Kelly told you to. Okay. You there? You're gone. All right, up next is Weston in Salt Lake City, Utah. Hi, Weston. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hi. So my work gave me 2 Phantom Unit Award agreements, and I was wondering if you could explain what those are. And I just was searching, and I've never seen you talk about them on your YouTube channel or however. So
no, I probably haven't. But basically, it's deferred comp is what it is, based on the stock price. And there's not necessarily a set methodology on when you receive them. It would be by the agreement. A lot of them they only let you cash them in when you leave. Is that what yours are?
I believe so. They ended up giving me 1,250 units, and both of them have different grant dates and vesting commencement dates. And, I have a vague understanding of what they are, and
Right.
I just
Well,
yeah.
it's not actually stock. Stock is you actually own a portion of a company, an equity position. It's called. A phantom unit is it's a ghost, obviously. So, but what it does is it replicates the real thing. And so, if you have 1,200 units and they're worth $1 a piece, then if stock is selling for $1 a share, then it's $1,200. If it's selling for $10 a share, it's $12,000. If it's selling for $100 a share, it'll be $120,000. So, your units are worth what the stock price is per share of stock, and then when you can cash them in is unique to each company and each agreement. And it sounds like you have a vesting schedule, which means that's when you actually become the owner. And then what you'd have to determine other than that from the vesting schedule or from HR can probably tell you this, or maybe your agreement if you read through it. After you're vested, can you cash them, or do you have to wait till you leave after you're vested? Vested means they actually are yours for the first time. In a sense, you become an owner of the phantom units, which is kind of an oxymoron. But it's the valuation is the price, the stock price times the number of units. That's what it's worth. And then how you can get to them, the schedule of access to the money is unique to each agreement. So, good question. Thanks for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Daniel is with us. Daniel's in Nashville. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. I got a question about I get disability from the VA on top of my working, and I work for the state of Tennessee, and so I get the retirement through the state with the pension. How do I make the math work on when I realize I'm going to be receiving this disability until I die?
Mm-hmm.
And how do am I making sense? How am I calculating this so that I am set for retirement? Right now I have about $150,000 in retirement. Right now I'm putting $1,300 a month into my 401k. Even though I'm full pension, I don't get any match from the state on that, but I'm also maxing out my IRA every year at $6,000.
Good. Well, you've got that nest egg, and the nest egg from the 401k and the nest egg from the IRAs, and that's money that you actually control. You control what is invested in. You control when you take it out at retirement. Whether you take it out at retirement, you can let it sit there and grow. You can move it to when you retire. You could roll that 401k into an IRA at that time and mutual funds, and you can have complete control of that part of your world. And that's your nest egg. So if that nest egg is sitting down with your investment professional, with your SmartVestor Pro, is going to grow to, I'll just make up a number, $1 million. All right. So you've got that $1 million is going to create an income, and you've got the VA income. Thank you for your service, and you've got the state pension coming, and those are your three items that are there. They are different. One's coming from the feds, one's coming from the state, and one is coming from your hard work, sweat, and saving. And the one that you have the most control over is that last one. The other two, hypothetically, could get messed up. I'm not predicting they're going to get messed up. The state of Tennessee's run very well. If you were in another state, I might be a little bit more worried about the quality of your pension. But some states are run well, some aren't. But the state of Tennessee's business has done pretty well. We've had several consecutive good governors in terms of their the way they conduct the business of the state. So I think the pension's in plenty good shape, and I'm not worried about that. And I'm not predicting the federal government's going to cave in either. So I think you're going to get both of those, but they're just an income, and they die with you, right?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dave.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you joining us. Open phone. The thing you don't want to do, Ken, in that, and I probably should have brought that up while I still had him on the line. The thing you don't want to do is count only on those.
Yes, that is correct.
Because you don't have flexibility then.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't have control.
No control. Yeah. No options. See, he's in really good shape.
Yeah, he's doing great because he's saving like a maniac.
Like crazy. I mean, really pouring into his 401k. He's got the retirement nest egg, so he's going to be in great shape.
Yeah, heading in the right way.
Yeah.
Alec is with us. Alec is in Pensacola. How are you, Alec?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, I love to hear that. All right, so my fiance and I are about to get married. I'm in the military, and she is fresh out of college for a nursing degree. That is going to put us together $55,500 in school debt, 2 credit cards totaling $5,500, and then 2 family loans on my part to pay off my car, totaling in $14,000. The car's worth $25,000, and total income for myself is about $42,000, and obviously we don't know how much she's going to make yet until she finds a job. We're assuming it's going to be between $30,000 and $50,000, and that's a combined income of maybe $85,000 with a total debt of $75,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really, really, really trying to rice and beans it, get this debt paid off.
Good for you.
I didn't know, the best way to go about that.
Okay.
And how fast we could assume to maybe pay that off.
Well, very good. Well, I mean, if you did 35 a year, you'd be done in 2 years.
And do you think 35 a year is attainable?
That's truly
Doable?
beans and rice making 80. And it might involve selling a $25,000 car, too.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd really consider that, Alec. That's a big jump start to what you're doing. That car's worth. That car's going to continue to go down in value, and right now we're seeing the highest rates for used cars that we've ever seen. I would move on that. You can make some big progress there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably not going to be a real popular decision if that's the first thing out of your mouth, so I wouldn't lead with that.
That's true, too.
But I think you can do this. I think it's very doable. What I'll do is this. I want to say thank you for serving your country, and I want to give you a wedding gift. We're going to put you into Financial Peace University, which includes a 1-year membership to Ramsey Plus. That'll get you signed up for it. We're going to give that to you as our gift. You guys go through that class together as you're doing your premarital counseling, and the two of you together will make really good decisions, and the two of you together will decide how deeply you want to sacrifice, therefore how fast you want to get out. That's how this deal works. So very cool, man. Very cool. Again, thanks for serving. Ken Coleman, good job. Ben and Kelly in the booth, good work. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave here. We just launched a brand new listener survey. We want to know what you think about the show. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. No purchase necessary. Take the survey at RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789.